I'm Jeffrey Sachs, director of the Earth Institute, and we at the Earth Institute are watching and discussing and thinking hard about a pivotal global moment, and that is the arrival of the 7 billionth human being on the planet, put by the United Nations as occurring on October 31, 2011. 7 billion is, of course, an incredible milestone. When Malthus, who famously warned about overpopulation, wrote The Principles of Population in 1798, more than 2 centuries ago, the global population was about 700 million, 750 million or so. We're 10 times more populated than when that first famous warning about overpopulation came. Now, some people say that Malthus's concerns have been proven wrong. After all, the world population did increase, and living standards on average did improve in the world. But we at the Earth Institute think that's a little too simple. Malthus may have been wrong in the timing, but the concerns that he raised, even though they've been overcome in part by better science and technology, are absolutely pressing and pivotal concerns for us still today. After all, to keep the kind of economy that we have today and that many in the poor world aspire to reach in the future is already imposing unprecedented, extremely dangerous, and unsolved problems of human impact on the natural environment. To feed 7 billion people, even most of the world's forests have been cut down in human history with tremendous deforestation in recent decades. To feed 7 billion people, we use a tremendous amount of fertilizer. Without it, no chance of feeding the 7 billion. But with it, we have many huge ecological costs of nitrogen and phosphorus runoff, often leading to poisoning of the water supplies or huge dead zones in the estuaries of more than 100 rivers around the world. To provide power for 7 billion people, we are burning so much coal, oil, and gas that we're putting into the atmosphere every year 30 billion tons of carbon dioxide, which is translating to a rising proportion of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. We've already raised the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere by more than 30% since the pre-industrial years. This is causing climate change, and it's causing havoc in many parts of the world already, and there's more to come. We will pass the 7 billion mark at the end of October, but every year now, the world population continues to rise by approximately 75 to 80 million people per year. Take that growing world population, take the fact that the output per person is still rising, especially with the rapid growth of China, India, Brazil, and other emerging economies. Put that together, recognize the unsustainability of our current economic system in terms of water, biodiversity, climate change, pollution, and many other environmental realities, and we have absolutely an unsolved, first-rate conundrum that is a challenge for the whole world. But Malthus's warning that human population would press against the finite limits of the planet are absolutely correct, and they're on us now, and they are, in my view, the most pressing problem that the world as a whole faces. That's why the Earth Institute is a university-wide initiative with partnerships around the world dedicated to the challenge of sustainable development. It is a focal and central challenge for the planet for the decades ahead. The 7 billionth individual, we can celebrate that child's arrival, but we also have to take note that that child can live and grow up in a decent and sustainable world, and that's the mission of the Earth Institute.